Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be previewing this weekend's upcoming fight, Petr vs Merab Dvalishvili. Super excited for this one, so without further ado, let's get into it. Number 2 takes on number 3 in the UFC bantamweight division. Petr will be looking to assert himself back into title contention following two close losses to Aljamain Sterling and Sean O'Malley. Merab looks to continue his rise in the UFC to the title following a dominant win over legend Jose Aldo. Petr hasn't exactly been bad in his last two fights. Both were extremely close, with fans debating that he actually won both encounters. But nonetheless, here we are. Jan is one of the most exciting and dynamic strikers in the UFC. He has slick boxing with strong kicks that he can use to deliver blows to the head, body, and legs with consistency. His wrestling is seen to be underrated as well. He has sneaky takedowns and trips that he likes to use at the end of different combos. He enjoys being on the front foot and in your face for a majority of the fight. Jan is still one of the most dangerous fighters in the entire division. Merab is seen as a little more one-dimensional than Petr. He's an extremely dominant wrestler, and he will like to use that as much as he can to win this fight. Merab is a tough chin, so he can withstand some of Jan's heavy blows. But Merab is still going to look to bring this fight to the ground and dominate from there. Jan's takedown defense isn't bad, however, and as we saw from the O'Malley fight, he isn't afraid to bring things to the ground. Granted, that was against someone who isn't going to be as comfortable on the ground, but you get my point. The threat of the ground won't be as prominent as it was in some of Merab's previous fights. This is also a 5-round fight. I don't think Merab is going to just be able to wrestle the entire time, as he essentially did with Jose Aldo. I think these two are pretty far apart in the striking department as well. Jan may not have looked like the absolute killer we've been used to in the Sean O'Malley fight, but it was always going to be a way tougher task due to the height difference and Sean's distance management. This time around, there isn't much of a height difference, and I think that will favor Jan much more. Another thing to consider is that Merab is part of Aljo's camp. He has fought Jan twice and was successful in the second fight. His team has also studied Jan extensively for a 5-round fight, so that's a huge advantage for Merab. Aljo will also definitely be telling him what to look for and what to be aware of. This is a big fight for both men, and could mean massive things for their careers. A loss for Jan, and that would mean 3 consecutive losses against top contenders. This is a tough fight to predict though. I could see both guys winning, however, if I had to pick a winner, I'd probably say Merab via decision. I just think he won't want to hang with Jan on the feet for too long once he realizes how good of a striker he is. And at that point, I think he's just going to get a hold of him and wrestle himself to a decision win. Unless Jan has made some extreme changes to his ground game, I think Merab will just be too much for him on the ground. So yeah, that's how I think Jan versus Merab is going to go. I'm a big fan of Jan, but I'm looking at this completely unbiased, and it's just how I see the fight going. Before the end of the video though, I want to shed some light on some other fights on this card. So starting off in our co-main event, we see a battle of the Alexanders in the heavyweight division. Alexander Volkov is taking on Alexander Romanov. Romanov has looked good in his past few fights, and Volkov won his last outing against Rosenstruck. I'm leaning towards Romanov, but it'll definitely be a good fight. We also get to see the rescheduled bout between Nikita Krylov and Ryan Spann at catchweight. I'm gonna go with Krylov on this one, but it's tight and could really see it going either way. Lastly, Said Nurmagomedov makes his return to the octagon as he continues to look like one of the most exciting fighters in the division. This time against Jonathan Martinez, who's coming off a victory against Cub Swanson. While I do think Martinez will give him a tough fight, Said has continued to show that he is a very well-rounded fighter, and I believe that this fight will be another step in the right direction for him. So there you have it. Those are my predictions and thoughts about the fights this weekend. I think we're in for a pretty fun event and some great fights. The UFC continues this crazy month of March with another pretty exciting card. Next weekend is another pay-per-view, and it happens to be one I'm extremely excited for. I'll be posting a preview for that card as well next week. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and if you enjoyed, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more. See you in the next one.